Hey sweet friends, let's get us a pot roast in the oven. Now y'all are not going to see me on this quick little clip, okay? But here is our little pot roast, and I cut some of it off. I'll show you. Or our little pork loin, it was. I have just been running around here cleaning house. I've not even got closely to gotten ready yet. So, but I'll see y'all later whenever I come back on after we cook this. But I want to show y'all what I did on some of that. Hang on, my battery's going dead. Some of it, I cut up in like little tenderloin pieces or pork chops, whatever. And I want y'all to look how tender this meat is. These are going to make some good little pork chops y'all know that I love to make. So I'll get those put away. I just wanted to show y'all that I done that. And then on the pork loin, I just seasoned it up. I can't touch nothing because I've done touched that. I don't know why I didn't get me a glove on, but anyway, I seasoned that with some nature seasoning, my Kinder's the blend, and that garlic and herb salt-free season that I grabbed the other day, and some smoked paprika. All right, let me wash my hands. Okay, while that is searing up in our skillet, we're going to keep this very simple, few ingredients, and we're going to cook it in our Dutch oven, in the oven, okay? So in here, let me show you what I have in my bowl here. I have a can of cream of mushroom roasted garlic. I've already put it in here, as you can see. And then in here, I have some beef broth. If you've never tried this roasted garlic cream of mushroom, it is so good. I know a lot of people use the golden. I've tried it, but I really like this one better. But of course, you use whatever kind you want. Excuse me. So that is just a can of beef broth. And the can of cream of mushroom, roasted garlic. We're going to put a couple dashes of our W sauce in here. I'm going to put a couple of splashes, or maybe about a capful of red wine vinegar. Now this is optional. I just like that tanginess that it gives, but you don't have to do this. Red wine vinegar. And that's it. We're going to use 2 packets to sprinkle over this and pour all this over it, and that is it, y'all. I'm going to sear this on all sides, and whenever I come back, we'll get our packets out. I'm going to do some onions, some carrots, some potatoes, and I think this will be delicious. All right, y'all. Just a slight sear on each side of it. You can see here. Just give it some good color. I'm just going to pop it back in here. We're going to take our onion, toss that in. I have a bag of baby petite carrots, and hang on, let me let this calm down a second so y'all can hear me. Okay, I just know on one of my other videos it was doing that and nobody could hear me good, so I learned my lesson on that. All right, so I just kind of picked that up, put some of the onions and carrots up under it, and then now what we're going to do, y'all see good, make sure. I'm going to take an au jus packet, and I'm going to just sprinkle. Now, if you want to mix this up in your stuff, you can. I think I'll do a little bit of each. I think I'll do some of it in there directly on it, and then some I will pour in our little mixture here. And then this is a pot roast packet. You can use any packet you want. You could do some onion soup mix. You could do some brown gravy. I mean, whatever you have in the pantry, okay? So let's get this mixed up. It smells good. All right, let's pour this in. I'm going to take some more of our beef broth. Now, as far as your broth, you just eyeball it. Use however much you think you need. However much liquid you want in there. I think so far I've probably used close to about 3 cups, if I had to guess. Okay. Get that out of the way. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's good. I think that'll be really good. And then one other thing I want to add in here. a can of potatoes. Now I know these are already done, but I'm not going to be mixing and stirring this, so I think these will hold up just fine. If they don't, it'll be a lesson learned, and then y'all will know not to do it, okay? So I am just going to pop this in the oven. I have it on 300. I'm just going to let it really slow cook since this is pork. And I will be back in a couple of hours, y'all, and we will look at it. Oh, and by the way, one thing I wanted to show y'all, I did make the pimento cheese. I think it was Monday night I made it, and I did a video. However, the video just was not good. I wasn't back to myself, and I just didn't like the video. I love the pimento cheese, of course, since the video didn't turn out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out the recipe for y'all whenever I get time. I did a few changes this time compared to my other one, and I love it. But anyway, that will be to come later. And one thing I forgot was to put my diced butter on there. I have half a stick here. I'm going to get it back out and put this on there. Hey y'all, alright, let's look at our pork roast, which I don't know that we're going to call this a pork roast now that I thought about it, but let's look at it. I've had this in the oven. I slow cooked this. You know, I put it in on 300, and then I just cooked it for a couple hours. I got it out in about 2 hours and checked it, and then I really don't know exactly how long I cooked it, but you just cook it however long you want. Of course, it does not take that long to get it done. It's just all about how, I like mine to be pull apart fork tender, all of it, okay? So let me tell you though what I'm going to do with this. Well, let me show it to you here. That gravy is nice and thick, and y'all, I did not put any cornstarch, any flour, or any, my hair's red, I just got out of the shower, but I didn't put any cornstarch, no flour, no nothing in it, and with that mushroom gravy in the soup packet, it just made a good thick gravy on its own. So I'm going to try to scoop this out. Let's see here. I don't want it to tear apart. This is our little, get that off there, our little pork loin here, y'all. Look at it. And I'm just going to slice this, and I'm going to put it back in here, and then we'll just serve the slices with some gravy over the top. So I'm thinking a better name for this would be sliced pork loin with gravy. Okay? I've never exactly made it just like this using like this cut of meat, I don't think. All right, so let's see. What I need something to kind of hold it with. All right, get you a sharp knife, of course. Can y'all see here? Get you up here. We're going to kind of see how this slices up. Hang on. Let me get a fork. Wait just a minute. Okay, I should have just grabbed this thing. I think this thing will work better. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to slice. Oh, I'm tearing it up over here. I'm just going to have to hold it with my hand because it's trying to fall apart, and I don't want it to. It's very, very tender. Ooh, look at that. It's kind of hot. You'll see how it's just falling apart. Well, that's okay if it falls apart, but I want to try to at least get a couple of slices. Okay, look at that. And I hadn't even had a taste of this yet. I've tasted the carrot. Okay. So here's our first piece. This one is the best piece that didn't fall apart. But look at all this. I really like these pieces, how it's kind of falling like that. I think that'd be good. All right, y'all, hang on just a second. I'm going to just scoop this up, place it back in here, wash my hands up, and then I'm gonna plate it up for us. Okay, y'all, I have laid it back in here. I'm just going to try to get some out before it all completely falls apart. Now remember, like I said, if you want to cook this for a shorter amount of time, you can. You do it just like I said, however you feel like you need to do. Of course, with it being with it being a pork, is going to be a drier cut of meat. That's why you want the gravy, okay? Or if you want to do it a shorter cooking amount of time, then you can try that route. I will tell you, you know, I use the little can of the potatoes. Can y'all see here? And look, they have stayed together. I even cut them in half here just a little bit ago to put them in more bite-sized pieces. I mean, they stay together better than real potatoes. Now, I'm not ever going to replace my real potatoes completely, but I think this is a great alternative, especially for something so quick and easy. And I don't normally use the little baby carrots either. I prefer the big carrots, but somehow these ended up in my Walmart order. And whenever I was having to use them this morning, I was not complaining because I was all about being simple and easy. And then the simple and easy potatoes, not having to do a lot of cutting. The only thing I had to cut up was that onion, and that worked out perfect because I was glad to have it so simple and easy. So let's see how we did here, y'all. And I made some white beans and some cornbread. This reminded me so much of back in the day when I used to be off of work and have a day off, and I'd cook this for the boys, and I'd make a big pot of white beans. Like, I went to the store earlier, and whenever I walked back in the house, the smell, it just took me right back to those days, y'all. Look at this. Look at that pork, that gravy on it. Delicious. Just something a little different. Now, I love a chuck roast, don't get me wrong, but this is a little something different and much cheaper. Yep. That's perfect, y'all. I love it. That flavor of all those seasonings, so good. Now, you know, a lot of those has sodium in them. So you know your sodium intake, you know your diet. You can get low sodium in a lot of those. I know you can, the gravy packet and the broth. Now, the pot roast season mix, I'm not sure. But, you would never know that those potatoes were canned. So you use your own judgment as far as your seasoning goes, okay? But y'all make this. This is fantastic. If y'all remember, I put this together in about 5 minutes. Seriously, it was so quick. I love this pork. And like I said, cooking it like that long, you definitely want to have your gravy with it. But it's fantastic. Try my beans here real quick. I love to put them in a little bowl, put my cornbread down in there. I've had these, I had them bowled up so they could be sitting here cooling. And y'all know I've showed y'all how I do all this. Now, several people have asked me about my cornbread. I'll make it again. It's coming up on the holidays. I'm going to need to make some to make my dressing anyway. So I'll be making it again. But now, if you want to, you can scroll back on my page. And I just shared the video not long ago of where I made it another time. So, Perfect supper, y'all. Okay. Well, that is it. This is so easy. Everything just did its own thing. Like I said, I did this in my Dutch oven. Did it in the oven because I was going to be here all day doing housework. But you can totally do this in the crock pot if you need to walk away from it and leave it. I checked it at the first time at, like I said, at like 2 hours. And then maybe an hour after that, just gave it a gentle stir, popped it back in there. So even in the oven, you don't have to stand over it. You know, it does its own thing, takes care of itself. Season it up however you want it. You know, I've done tons of roast recipes and stuff like this on here. You can change your flavors up. Use a lot of your same stuff, your staples, but just change the flavors. Make different meals out of it. I'm sure I'll have leftovers of this. Well, I know I will. And you never know, I'm liable to turn this into something else, y'all. But anyway, this is a delicious, delicious meal. I'm going to enjoy it. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.